MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show. In studio with us today, we've got Braden and Avi from Breaze Delivery. They were the winners of Pitch and Polish 2024, and they're in studio with us talking about the question of growth versus profitability. So you spoke about the growth last year. In terms of the profitability, what did it do to the profitability?
Yeah, so as we grow, our unit economics get better, which is great, because we knew, this business is going to take some time to reach profitability. And I think the whole purpose around this question is, at what point do we say, okay, let's focus on not growing at the moment, look at our internal business operations and see how we can maximize margins to be profitable. And that's really a question that plays on our minds quite often. There's new territories we can expand to, but we start at zero again and our unit economics aren't right. Mm-hmm. So it's a very strategic decision for us to make, especially as we grow.
So in terms of the growth that you've already had, what impact did it have on the whole business per se, including your own psyche?
Yeah, it's been tough. Avi mentioned Black Friday craziness and exponential volumes. It really did put a test on our business. And we have to go through these sort of episodes of lessons to really take the business to the next stage. But it was rough. We were spending 3 weeks in the warehouse till 11 at night. So on our psyche, morals were low, but now we know what we need to do to prepare for this year's Black Friday and peak festive season.
And in terms of from a systems and process and software perspective, that was under control?
It was largely under control.
Yeah.
Systems didn't fail per se.
Yeah.
However, something that's interesting that we had never perceived and prepared for, and I think it's probably something industry-wide that's happening and a lot of consumers don't know, is pre-orders and how different online platforms like Shopify, WooCommerce handle pre-orders. So what actually happened at a lot of our clients that use Shopify holds the orders and then only sends them at the date of the actual fulfillment of the orders. So at some point, I think on the week of Black Friday at 9 a.m., our system actually faced an enormous amount of orders. In fact, our detection tools actually thought it was a DDoS attack. And then when we looked at it, it was actually orders just coming in from all different kinds of sources. So it was interesting to see. It did have a slowdown on our system performance, but our system did behave and handle the load as expected. But we just didn't really anticipate the kinds of volumes that our clients were facing. I mean, I don't want to maybe give too much on what our clients are doing, but I'm talking about tens of millions of rands worth of orders in a single hour. Coming in, so which was incredible to see, and we know that the e-commerce market is growing tremendously. From last year to this year, it's going to be double. So from 5%, just under 5%, to about 10%, and we could really see it this Black Friday in 2024. How that permeated throughout all our customers in different verticals. So really encouraging to see, and also see the resilience of the economy, because these are people, real people using their real money to make purchases.
So you spoke about unit economics, right? So over this growth now, what overheads increased pro rata to your growth? What didn't increase pro rata, either more or less?
So if we look at our fulfillment centers, our rent cost stayed the same. We didn't have to get additional fulfillment centers, which is quite a big OPEX cost for us.
But that's going to change when the capacity is achieved.
Correct, yes. Then we need to scale up some more. But in terms of this period and Black Friday, that remained constant. We had to get a lot of casual labor in. We also pack orders on behalf of our clients. So with that skyrocketing, we needed more in-house warehouse people, as well as customer support agents. So from operational labor and wages, that grew quite substantially with the volumes, but the rest stayed relatively constant, which was nice to see.
Okay. And would you say there are any hidden costs that, if you look at let's go 2 years ago versus the business now, that there's certain costs that have appeared that you didn't anticipate?
Yeah, certainly they are. So as a technology-driven delivery business, we process orders in an automated fashion. However, we operate in a limited geography. So, for example, we don't currently operate in Bloemfontein, but we have to process every single order that our merchants actually have, so that we can determine if it's in Bloemfontein or not. And then, so we actually spend more money as orders grow on orders that we're not going to actually generate revenue from. So that's an actually unintended cost leakage.
Yeah.
But the benefit that we're going to get from it in the long term, in terms of understanding and assessing a particular area, say, listen, there's enough demand here. Let's open up here, which will also bridge the gap, as what Braden mentioned, in terms of opening up a new area or a new geography. How do we make sure we get there in a financially responsible way as possible?
Last question from me. We've got about a minute and a half left. In terms of what you're measuring, because you've asked the unit economics, we're talking about these things, and you're a tech business. What ratios and what metrics are you actually measuring right now in a proactive way?
So the biggest ratio is our GP ratio that we're really honing in on.
Yeah.
Before, we were focused on revenue, and I think that's what most startups do in the beginning. It's all about, let's get customers, let's get them paying, focus on revenue for the first couple of years. And I think we've done really well to achieve that, but now it's focusing on our cost inputs that go into that to make sure that that ratio is what we plan to hit for the year.
Nothing like number of parcels sent, average turnaround, those kinds of metrics?
Yeah, we do have KPIs for our teams on those different levels, but essentially our plan for 2025 is to double last year. So we just hit over 100,000 deliveries last year, and we strongly believe that we can double that this year with where the market's going and new customers coming on board.
Great. I think I've got enough to give some feedback. Do stay tuned. When we come back, I'll be giving some feedback to the young entrepreneurs.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.